Hi, my name is Joseph Zang, and today I'm going to be telling you about my favorite part of the brain, the hypothalamus. More specifically, I'm going to be talking about two structures located inside of it, called the ventromedial hypothalamus and lateral hypothalamus. So what is the hypothalamus? As indicated by these red dots here, you can see where the hypothalamus is located. You can see how it's located right underneath the thalamus here, and it is also ventral to it. This is what gives the hypothalamus its name, as hypo means under, so its name literally means under the thalamus. And right under the hypothalamus here, we can also see the pituitary gland, which it is directly connected to, allowing it to play an important role in regulating the endocrine system and the release of hormones. The hypothalamus is a major regulatory center for many behaviors such as eating, drinking, sex, biorhythms, aggression, the release of hormones, and temperature control, which makes sense as the hypothalamus is not a single structure, but rather a collection of nuclei, as you can see in this picture here. So now I'm going to go ahead and talk about how the ventromedial hypothalamus and lateral hypothalamus influence our eating behaviors. So as you can see here, there's the ventromedial hypothalamus, which are these two red parts, and the lateral hypothalamus, which are the two green parts. But how exactly do these two parts influence our feeding behavior? Well, the ventromedial hypothalamus is what signals satiety, and the lateral hypothalamus is what signals hunger. But how do both of these two parts of the hypothalamus accomplish this? Well, the ventromedial hypothalamus, along with the paraventricular nucleus and the nucleus's solidarity tract, participates in circuits that influence satiety. In turn, this allows them to tell us when we are full and when to stop eating. It is also important to note that high levels of leptin stimulate the release of the neurochemicals alpha-melanocortin stimulating hormone and CART, which inhibit feeding behavior through these circuits. These circuits are also influenced by ghrelin, which decreases after a meal. On the other hand, the lateral hypothalamus contains glucoreceptors which participate in the identification of hunger and in turn the initiating of feeding behavior. So these ones are the ones that tell us when we need to eat. However, feeding behavior is also stimulated by many other chemicals rather than just the ones that glucoreceptors receive, such as neuropeptide Y, agouti-related protein, orexins, ghrelin, and MCH. In early research, it was discovered that rats with lesions to the lateral hypothalamus would starve to death even when food was presented. They also found the electrical stimulation of the lateral hypothalamus would produce immediate feeding, as can be seen in this rat here, as it is very thin, showing that it has not eaten much in recent time after the lesion to it. But what happens if you lesion the ventromedial hypothalamus? Well, similarly, another study found that lesions to the ventromedial hypothalamus in rats caused them to eat more, gain a lot of weight, and develop picky eating habits, seen in the rat here, as he is very plump from eating too much because of his lesion to the ventromedial hypothalamus. It is also worth noting that eating disorders such as bulimia nervosa and anorexia nervosa are related to abnormalities in the hypothalamus and its connections to other areas. That's all I have to tell you about the hypothalamus today, but if you're interested about learning more, I highly suggest it, as the hypothalamus does so many different things that it is simply fascinating. Another structure in the hypothalamus that is very interesting and that you could look more into is the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which serves as the body's master internal clock. So I encourage anyone who watches this to learn more about the hypothalamus, and maybe it will become your favorite part of the brain too.